remember that that's playing a statistics game. Somebody can make an argument that wearing your seatbelt is the safest thing to do, but there probably is that small percentage of cases where lucky you didn't have your seatbelt on when that happened, because it would have kept you in this seat and you couldn't have slid over or what have you.
So what's the procedure for doing a lockdown?
We hear over the loudspeaker that there's a lockdown, and teachers are told the first thing you do is lock the door to your room. So you should have your keys on you, which I don't have on me right now, but you go over, make sure your door is locked, and you have to cover the window so that if anyone were to be out there, they couldn't tell if someone was in the room. All students are supposed to be in the best spot in the room in terms of being out of the line of fire. So when there's a lockdown in my classroom, the students all sit on the floor over here against these two walls.
So do you feel that your students are safe during the lockdown, or?
I'd like to think that they would be safe.
Well, I feel safe with the current procedures. Well, with the current procedures, yes, I feel safe. Could you feel safer? Probably.
So do you feel that it keeps your students safe, or it's just kind of like make you feel safe?
No, I think it's necessary. I really do. When I was a kid, we used to practice hiding under the tables in case of a nuclear attack. And this is that same sort of thing. You hope to God that you never have to worry about it, but having a little bit of practice, I think really is going to cut down on nervous behavior and people panicking, all that.
But it's not like the nuclear thing where to make you feel safe, because obviously the desks wouldn't do anything during it.
No, this is
actually effective, you think?
I think it is, yeah, I really do.
What do you normally do when a lockdown is happening?
Corner of the room where if you look in the door, they can't see you from the door.
Okay, and do you, if like say a gunman really was in the school, would you feel safe?
Not at all, because nobody takes them seriously. They'd clearly hear you.
Feel safe during a lockdown, Nate?
Not really.
No? Why not?
All we do is get against a wall. It doesn't make me feel safe.
Not always.
Why not?
Because, yeah, we might be tucked in a corner, but some psychopath could break the window and unlock the door easily.
Not at all. I feel that being in a corner, in a room, any room at all, is like really ridiculously stupid, because like 400 kids throughout the whole school, how many kids like go to the school aren't going to disappear?
Do you feel safe during a lockdown?
Not really. Not really, no. Because those windows, people could easily see us. If somebody was trying to kill people, we wouldn't be protected at all. Especially in the library, there's huge windows.
Does that feel safe to you?
Absolutely not. I'd feel much safer running out of the school or something.
Why do you not feel safe in that situation?
It's not going to do anything. That door's not going to stop anybody. If they want to get in and kill us, they're going to kill us.
If a gunman came into the room, I'd probably if I knew he was going to come, I'd hide in the closet. Because you know how they have the closet things?
Yeah.
What if the class didn't have a closet?
I don't know what I honestly, I would just...
So if it was a gunman, if he was to enter your room, what would you try to do to protect your students?
You know, whatever's possible. I mean, what do people do in trying circumstances? You got to think about that. You know, we're here because your parents. You know, we're tremendous fortune that your parents let us do this kind of stuff and trust us that we're going to help take care of you. If it's someone that we know, try to diffuse the situation. Unfortunately, our windows are so. Think about it, those windows are so small, right? I mean, you really have to kick them hard to break them and get them out, to get a kid out the window. Seriously, would you jump from the second story? You wouldn't jump from the second story if there was a gunman coming through the back room.
I would.
I would certainly try to get as many kids out. I would certainly try to do something to defuse the situation, to put my life on line. Yeah, you kind of have to do that stuff.
I don't know. I mean, my job as a teacher would be to protect my students. So I would do everything, I would like to think I would do everything I could to protect them. I don't know what that would be, but you're kind of helpless in that situation.
You know, it's hard to say what you would do. I'd like to think that I would be the one who would get up in front and try to block anything from happening to the students. It's hard to say what would happen at that point in time.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I like to think that I would be brave and try to stop the person. We have, of course, the interior doors, which would pose a problem because once they're in one room, they could go down the hallway then. So I guess you'd have to try to alert the other classrooms and make sure that they could evacuate quickly. Get to the phone if you can and alert the, the office. So obviously that would be really terrible because once someone's in the classroom, you couldn't do a whole lot to stop them.
I would cry. Tears would be streaming down my face. I'd be like, I'd call my mom, and if he smacked the cell phone, I'd just break down. I'd maybe try to go out of the window, and if he started firing shots, I'd be like, no, don't shoot me, and I'd grab the first kid I saw and be like, shoot him. I don't even care who it is. I'm looking out for me. I don't want to get shot by some crazy guy. I'd be crying. That's what I'd do.
I know. I'd jump the person and I would disarm them using my many years of experience about how to disarm a person. Believe it or not, I've disarmed people.
Do you feel that there's anything that could be done to improve the procedure, or is it good the way it is?
Yeah, I think there are some improvements. Unfortunately, it's kind of left to the teachers to come up with their own way of covering windows. And so by the time I get my windows and doors covered and all that taken care of, and then the kids in a secure location, I've wasted at least like 5-10 minutes. And so I think we can do a better job on the time that it takes.
Besides having some sort of special building that everything, chains and stuff go down, but we can't have that. I don't know. I really don't know.
It would be great if something was already in place where we could have a covering that immediately went down and sealed that window. Close that window entirely so no one could see in it. Like maybe a door that flipped down to the bottom that could, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Flap right up, and then put a little twist because it's just a piece of paper,
I do think that we need to make sure that every teacher has keys to lock the rooms. All of the classroom teachers right now have keys to do that, but some of the other people who might be like aides to students or substitutes won't have keys. So that's a potential thing that we might need to fix, because otherwise you won't be able to lock your door. And sometimes it's hard to find something to cover your door with. But other than that, I think we probably do the best that we can.
If I had ideas on how to improve the procedure for a lockdown, to protect the students, yeah, I guess I would, but it would cost money. I'd hire more, safety resource officers. Yeah, that's what I'd like that. If you had one on every floor.
There's only 2 floors.
Yeah, that's twice as many as we have now. And yeah, that's one thing I could see where that would help. If you had more resources, more men in the field, or women in the field to keep an eye out on things.